Hey everyone, Jay with the Hyperactive Homestead. Figured I would give you guys a tour of our homestead out here in Alaska. This right here is reasonably obvious. This is our woodshed. Excuse me. As you can tell, there's not a whole lot of wood in here, so I have a lot of work to do to get this filled up for the winter. There are a couple of trees hiding under that tarp right there that need to be cut. They're birch trees. Birch trees stay wet for quite a while, so I pulled some of them and laid them down on some wood planks that I had to keep them up off the ground so they won't absorb moisture over the winter, and covered them so that they wouldn't take on a lot of rain. So I'll cut those up for this year, but I need to go pull probably another 50 or 60 trees and get them cut down to logs and then split them and fill up the woodshed. This is a shot of some of the property itself and the beautiful trees that we have. Some other stuff that's been left behind from the previous owners, and probably the previous owners before that, and probably the previous owners before that. There's a lot of stuff that's on the property that's been here for quite a while. Some of it I've been getting to, some of it I haven't as of yet. You can just continue to see we've just got trees all over. Absolutely love it. It's amazing being able to come out here and just watch them sway in the wind and listen to the breeze. And in the winter they're just covered in white, which is absolutely amazing. That's probably one of my favorite parts, is being here in the winter and being able to see that. The sun will ever so lightly come up because it doesn't come up very high in the winter, and when it does, it just reflects this orange glow right on the top of the trees. It's absolutely gorgeous. That is the back of my barn, and that tarp that you see that's ripped there was the back door of the barn. I'm sorry, that's the garage, not the barn. That is the garage. I had put up the tarp to try and keep the wind from flowing through while I was working in there, as it was turning to winter. And then this past year we had a massive windstorm, about 2 weeks worth of very high winds, completely shredded it. There's some other miscellaneous things throughout the yard, some other buildings I'll get to in a minute. This here is what we call our ATV tent, even though it's not a tent. It's just easier to call it a tent. We put the ATVs and the snow machines in here to keep them out of the weather as best as possible. It's a bit of a mess right now. The plow shouldn't be in here. The trailer shouldn't be in here. There's actually 2 other quads that should be in here. One of them is up at summer parking, and the other one is in the garage in 300,000 pieces. Over here we have what we call the fuel tent. It's dubbed the fuel tent because this is where we literally keep all of our fuel. This isn't the right door to be going in, but I will show you real quick. We have a massive amount of gas cans. I actually use those 15-gallon buckets there. You may have seen that video of me getting those filled. And then all the way up in the front there is the propane tanks that we use to power the house. It powers the hot water and the kitchen stove. This here is just a pile of scrap wood that I have that I use to do miscellaneous things with here and there. This here is a cabin that one of my daughters lives in. This was also on the property originally. That is her fuel tank for her heating element, the Toyo stove. There's no wood stove in there, even though there is a chimney up there. That's no longer a wood stove. It's just a Toyo device. And here is what we call our garden shed. All the garden tools are in here. They've stayed here throughout the winter as well. Everything still works. Lawnmower still works. Weed eaters still work. This here is the front of the garage. As you can see, I have some maintenance things I need to do, like put a piece of plywood up and cover that insulation. That would probably be a smart idea. Tracks that we took off the 700 a couple of weeks ago. This here is the garage, front door. As you can see, it's a mess. ADHD has a bad habit of taking control when you try and keep things neat. This is that quad that I said was on the garage in a million pieces. This is our Big Boss 6x6 by Polaris. It had a few issues, so I started tearing it down. I ended up having to stop to do some other things and have not had an opportunity to get back to it. You can see that's the front nose there, and the seat, and a few other pieces, another piece down there. It's a little bit of everywhere. It's a nice big mess. One of those things that, again, I wish I could keep clean, but it seems like every time I try and clean it up, something else happens, and it just becomes a bigger mess. Some other things over here that left behind that I haven't had an opportunity to get a chance to clean up yet. This over here is the barn. They at some point had pigs here, which that in there would be the pig pen. It may have been a goat pen. I'm not 100% sure. I know 2 or 3 residents ago they had pigs and horses and cows and sheep. They had all kinds of animals out here. So I'm not 100% sure what each pen is actually for. The barn itself right now is being utilized as storage because we don't have any animals. So it's just a big honking mess in there. All kinds of stuff that needs to be gone through in there. That, again, another pen. Could have been pig pen, could have been a goat pen, not 100% sure. A very old outhouse. That's our burn barrels. We burn our trash here. We do take some stuff to the recycle, glass bottles, those kind of things, metal cans, things like that, because they don't burn. So we do actually take those out to recycle. That is a very old goat house, I think. We actually use that and call it now the trash tent. So when we take trash out of the house, it actually goes in there until we have the ability to burn. We had a burn notice put out on June 1st of this year that no one is allowed to burn now due to it being very, very dry out here at the moment. So right now that's getting full of trash. This is a chicken coop. It was originally here. We actually kind of rebuilt it when we first got here. And we got some chickens off of Facebook, and we had them in here for a while. We cleaned all this up and re-insulated it and did everything else. There was an issue with this particular building. I can't 100% remember what it was. I think humidity was a problem in here. So this one didn't last very long. We actually moved them to here. That's backwards. We started here. This was the original chicken coop, and then we moved them to this one, because this one had a leak problem. The roof leaks pretty badly on this one. I'm not going to show you everything in there because it's just a complete and total disaster. Here's the other side of the cabin. This right here is covered because there are poisonous plants that grow within that area. And we made sure to stay away from it in the beginning, the first year and a half we were here. This year, as soon as the snow melted, I went ahead and covered it. I'm going to leave it covered through this summer and this winter and allow those plants that are poisonous to die off so that we can actually utilize this area. This area here was the greenhouse last year. Unfortunately, that windstorm, which I did not prepare myself for, unfortunately, completely and totally shredded the greenhouse. So that is no longer in existence, so we don't have one this year. This is one of our little girls, one of our chickens. We have 8 in total. There's another one running around right there, and another one up in there. This here is the chicken coop. I built this last year. Actually, my sister-in-law also helped a lot with getting this built. She came up for a quote-unquote vacation and ended up spending most of the time helping me build this because I had blown out my knee. So I was on crutches. This is their covered run. We actually just recovered it. Last year we had some tarps and visqueen over the top of it. We went ahead and recovered that the other day. And this is actually the old greenhouse covering. We just cut it down to fit and strapped it on, and it's working out pretty well. Hi, girls. This is the main cabin. As you can see, that needs some work too. It needs more paper and siding and some other things, but it is working and functioning as it stands, so we're letting it go for right now. The grass grows very, very quickly out here once summertime comes. As you can see, you're seeing it pop up as it is, but this was not like this 3 days ago. It was all flat, mostly brown. The wife and daughter are working on growing potatoes in these bins right here. And this would be the back of the house. Nothing exciting back there, just the heating oil and a swallow house that I'm not sure if we're getting swallows in that one or not this year. Future projects that we're going to be working on. This corner right here, I'm going to level out. I'm going to bring that particular fuel tank over here and replumb it. And then I'm also going to take everything that's over here in the generator shed, the only thing we actually call a shed. I'm going to take that IBC tote, which is my fuel station and the generator, and I'm going to move them over here on a raised platform so that I can put a water filter on the IBC fuel station, and we're going to have everything just sitting over here in this corner so that it's out of the way. One of the other projects I'm looking at this year, unfortunately these windows have had it. That's actually my office, quote unquote. That's where I do my work in the morning. I'm going to take these windows out, reply with this, and we're going to take a couple of those solar panels up there and bring them down here so that we can get the late day sun. We don't actually get any of that based on where those panels are facing, and in the summer that sun just stays up until 10, 11 o'clock at night all the way across this portion of the sky. So I lose all of that potential for power by not having the panels on the side of the house. So we're hoping to work something out so that I can move a couple of those panels over. That is just a storage shed with another trailer and some other miscellaneous things. Chairs where the daughter sits out and chills and enjoys herself. This over here is our barbecue tent, I guess. I got a smoker in there and a grill. We moved this over last year. This right here is another future project. I'm hoping to continue to finish leveling this out. When we first got here, there was actually a pump well right here in the middle. I'm going to finish leveling this out, and I'm hoping to put some sort of a deck out here and then cover it to match the roof lines up there so that we have an area that we can actually come out to when the snow's here. This becomes a major muddy area in the winter, and especially in the spring when it turns to breakup season. This is why there's pallets here and wood for her to get across. This whole area just turns to a huge mud puddle. One of the recent projects that I did, I know nothing about building stairs, not even close. These stairs here, as you can tell, the wood just shredded from years of being out in the weather. So I just threw something together so that she could still get in and out of the cabin. Best I could do with what I had. And I guess that's about it. That's the whole area. So hopefully you've enjoyed the tour. And if you like this content, I would really appreciate it if you could like and follow. And we'll keep you updated on other things that we do.